Previously.
Charlie, Star, disappeared. It's been gone for a month, at least.
And no one has heard anything?
Usually, kindred missing, either Coyote or mates or, the clan would sort it.
There are some things in kindred society that work just the same as they did in the kind world. If there's someone we need to find, that's what I used to do.
I doubt it's as simple as we're missing someone, go find them.
And nothing is straightforward when dealing with the Malkavians. Who did Charlie...
associate with?
Zola's friends. Bloody...
Any idea what their coterie was up to?
They're based in Port Adelaide. That's their usual hangout spot. I'm not going to name names, because let's be honest, it's not a code. Isabella, you can see the stillness. Feel as though the world is holding its breath. But for you, that doesn't matter, because you don't breathe. Get into the car and on to your next destination. And now, you are driving to Port Adelaide, to the Port Anchor Hotel, in pursuit of what you hope is more information to illuminate, the ever-growing concerns that you have. A missing kindred, a severed finger, a haven abandoned, it seems, some sort of hole where you found the finger.
A bathtub once full of vitae.
Many, many lots of vitae.
And a library with concerning texts. Not concerning necessarily in their content, but
in their context.
In their context.
Yeah.
So, who is driving?
It's got to be Kevin.
Kevin is driving, and sitting next to him in the passenger's seat is Vincent Masters.
Correct.
Professor Vincent
Masters. And Isabella, you're sitting in the back.
In the back, observing.
Mm-hmm. It is between this side of town and Port Adelaide. It is at this time nearly midnight. It will take about 20 to 25 minutes to drive, even with no traffic, just traffic lights and such. In game terms, that will give you 5 minutes to discuss what you think the circumstances surrounding what you've discovered so far might mean and possible solutions.
I would like to quickly send a message to my sire, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Via text message?
Text message, yes.
Very good. What would you like your message to say?
It would say, Sire Victoria Montrose, apprentice of the Fifth Circle.
You're using full titles.
Well, that's what she uses with me.
Yep.
I desire to commune with you before night's end. Strange nights indeed. Signed, Vincent Masters.
She sends you a quick response that simply says 4 a.m.
And I just thought it was going to be a reply
4
saying
PM.
K.
Sick. I'm not going to divulge any information over text message. Who knows who has access to that sort of thing?
I'll just make it clear. You probably don't send your titles through text message.
Sure.
Only
in formal writings. I would just write sire then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think something unholy has happened this night. There are forces that we do not know how to reckon with. I think there are... Whoever has been in Charlie's house has been committing something big and possibly trying to end us all.
What I found in these notes in the library is deeply concerning.
I actually wasn't in the study when you were looking at that. What did you find, mate?
So, whoever has been using the library, Charlie perhaps, has taken a great interest in a ship, a Greek ship, and has brought immigrants over between the 50s and 70s. But not only Greek immigrants, bodies of their family, transported to Australia. Now, I suspect maybe this is a small leap, but maybe kindred are those bodies being brought over under the pretension that they are the remains of loved ones.
In torpor?
Possibly, yes. And 2 years ago, this ship, which had been converted to a car ferry since, was bought by a Greek businessman, Polites.
Polites. Do I know that name at all?
Politis.
Politis.
Pilates. Pilates?
That's what I always heard it as.
Yeah.
Politis.
You said that it's been that particular ship is now present somewhere?
Somewhere, yes. Still in operation. Bought by some Adelaide businessman.
Adelaide, so it is here?
Possibly, yes. And one further thing, a photo picturing an ornate coffin with mixed ancient Greek and modern Greek written on it. I had it quickly translated. It reads, "My children, my creations, my beautiful things. Watch and listen. Listen and watch."
I mean, I've never been much for poetry, but
Obviously, it's more my area of expertise, but I will need some time to research
It
it.
seems like whatever has happened, it has happened a long time ago and is now becoming new, is happening now. Whatever happened in the 50s, 70s has emerged
Coming
possibly.
to fruition, yes.
I mean, there's one thing we're forgetting, or, forgive me, aren't those Malkavians meant to be mad as hatters? Can we completely trust anything that they've highlighted it, or could it not just be random circumstance? And
We have seen with our own eyes a pit full of bodies. I think that it's not just madness.
I think your skepticism is well placed, but I'm fairly confident this was the thrust of the research. Hopefully it's tied to what's happening and opens up avenues, but as you say, Malkavians, it could be a red herring, but I think it's worth pursuing nonetheless.
every lead's worth pursuing, mate.
As for what it means, well, what if it's not anarchs? What if it's something worse that they have themselves involved in?
And who was that person watching us?
There's a word I've heard on the streets. Kind of heard it bubble up here and there. Do you know what the Sabbat is?
I think you may have actually told him that as a note. You've definitely told him.
Well remembered, Kevin. I dearly, dearly hope it is not them.
We're looking at rituals and cults and shit. Based
Yes.
on what I remember, not
Well,
too
there's-
far a throw.
There is as much misinformation as there is concrete accounts of what the Sabbat get up to in their terrible cities. Hopefully they have not moved it here.
Would I know about the Sabbat? I would think that I would, with an interest in a cult and...
You don't know who they are. You have no idea. In fact, the way that the neonate younger than you talks about them, it feels like you've missed out on something important. Something's been obfuscated from you.
I don't... Sabbat, you say this word...
Sabbat is, you know what the English or the literal meaning is.
as in... Nope.
I believe a Sabbat is a gathering of witches.
Is it?
I
Okay.
think so. Let me check.
I was taking it from as in a sabbatical, as in like a...
Might have a similar
rest.
route. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Do, 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 do. Do we wait for Chris to Google?
Give me 2 seconds.
All of the matches are Vampire the Masquerade pages.
No, because it's a word. It's a real word.
It is a festival for witches.
Oh.
A gathering of witches.
It's just
Often
a festival.
A witches' Sabbat. A gathering of witches, often in winter.
You say Sabbat. I don't know what that means apart from my readings back when I was kind. Witchcraft or some other unholy actions.
You were not taught about the Sabbat.
There's a cloud over me. I believe something has been kept from me.
That is most curious.
Sabbat's a pretty fucking big thing to be kept from.
Certainly. While we don't have many direct dealings with them here in Adelaide, they have their centres of power around the world.
Fucking dangerous is what they are.
Yeah, they surrender almost to the beast. They are crazed. Evil.
I should be very clear. It's not as if your memory has been clouded. It's as if you're a university student who has not been given an intro into essay writing
Right.
or how to conduct themselves in a lecture theatre.
Okay.
A clear fundamental building block of your kindred knowledge, judging from the way these two are talking, seems missing.
No one has taught me about what this means. It's not something that has been...
That does not seem like a accidental oversight.
Yeah, just to be clear, the fact that I know the Sabbat and you don't, that's something else. That's...
I would be very careful about pursuing why that is.
Yes.
Someone has deliberately hidden that from you.
My clan already seem to have a poor taste of me in their mouths. I don't understand why that is, but it could be related. But we think that this could be happening.
It's only a suspicion. Let's not hammer anything into stone right now. Let's keep our minds open.
As you sit with this uncomfortable deficit in what you know about your world and what you think you know about each other, Phil and Ellen, would you please roll a conscience check?
I'll just keep driving.
Just conscience?
Just conscience.
Any difficulty?
Difficulty is
My favourite thing at the table is whenever we
Don't worry, it's a botch.
release a particular type of information, and Chris's eyes light up like a kid in a candy store.
You said 7, right?
I said 8.
It's a botch anyway.
Great.
Your head explodes.
Was it just... How many dots in conscience do you have?
She has 5.
Oh, God.
What do you have?
3.
So
So I'll just say 4.
you succeeded.
Yep.
I have good courage, but not.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I've
got
got
full
a
courage.
hella conscience.
Yeah.
So,
You have 4.
as you sit quietly with this uncomfortable knowledge that Isabella has been maybe misled, deliberately or not deliberately, about the knowledge of the Sabbat, and if her sire or someone who mentors her isn't to tell her, it's not something that crops up in polite kindred society. It's not a topic of discussion, certainly not for you neonates. As you sit with this uncomfortable knowledge, Isabella, you feel incredibly guilty about what you have done to a kindred's haven. Missing or not, breaking in and moving their things, breaking their doors,
Ripping their mattress apart.
destroying their property. You have violated a sanctum. And even though it may not be to your tastes, it is someone's space and their home, and you have entered uninvited. You feel incredibly guilty, and you feel very sad. You do, however, maintain your humanity. Professor Masters.
That was a response to me shaking my head sadly.
To be fair, to be clear, rather, you botched your humanity roll.
My conscience roll.
Your
yeah.
conscience roll. You lose a point of humanity.
Boo.
How much
You
humanity?
lose.
How much humanity
there's
do you
more.
have?
There's more, fellas.
Good.
There's
My
much
humanity's pretty good,
Okay.
actually. My humanity was 7 to start with.
Oh, that's good. That's better than me.
more. We're not done yet.
Oh.
You lose a point of humanity for botching your roll. You permanently lose a point of conscience.
Whoa.
And
Ow.
Mr. Chris,
My soul.
Mr. Chris, if one were to lose all conscience, what exactly does that mean?
It means he can act and never succeed in passing a humanity check. But before we even get to that,
I would very
Oh my God.
quickly
you
lose.
develop a derangement.
Oh, no.
It's happening.
I wanted to level up, not gain derangement.
Derangement. Derangement's permanent.
Yes.
Vampire is a slow descent into
Madness.
inhumanity and madness.
Oh.
You botch on your humanity roll, on your conscience roll. You lose a point of humanity. You permanently lose a point of conscience. And you gain the derangement paranoia. The influences of the Malkavian's haven have clearly rubbed off on you. You are not sure who to trust. Isabella not knowing who the Sabbat is, who and where this Bruja came from, and suddenly things are falling into line he's been asked for by other Toreador. Who are these kindred? Can you trust them?
No.
They're not your clan, but can you even trust your clan? Who are these kindred you're going to meet? These so-called anarchs, maybe. These pretend anarchs. Who are these people? Who are these kindred? You want to have a very long life, and maybe you need to trust yourself more than anyone else.
Sure.
Oh, good God.
In
you're
a
gonna be
rules sense, this gives you a -1 to all social interactions.
All.
All. This does not include powers.
Right.
Huh.
Mundane social interactions.
Okay.
Right, well, you're going to be fun to deal with.
Shut up, you.
Oh.
I don't trust you.
The drive continues for another 10 minutes before blue lights flash behind you.
Son of a...
A police car is signaling for you to pull over.
Kevin knows the score. He's just going to say, let me handle this one, all right? Sit tight. Look as natural as you can and take it from there.
You tell anyone where we were going?
Don't be daft, mate. Pulls over to the side.
That's blood. Am I able to do
Oh, shit, that's
Blush
right.
of Life?
It might not be necessary for you. Your humanity,
I'm in the back.
Your humanity is quite high.
That's right. I'm pretty human.
Kev pulls over,
The police car
indicates...
pulls over behind you. An officer steps out of the car and approaches the side. Is your window up?
It is up.
He knocks on the window.
Kevin goes over.
Unless you wind it down.
He winds it down by no. We talked about this. He gets his finger and he puts it on and he presses the electric window.
The electric window slides down.
Yes.
You hear the wind outside picking up a bit now. Seems like dark clouds are gathering overhead. Looking outside, you can see the beginnings of a bit of rain. The officer looks in to the driver's side. How are you?
I'm doing well, officer. How are you?
Well, where are you going tonight?
We're actually on our way to Port Adelaide at the moment. Got some friends up there and had a big night, and I think it's about time we got to sleep.
You're going to bed?
I'm hoping so.
Where are you coming from?
We just came from... what's the suburb that we just came from?
Glenside.
Glenside, yeah.
It's Glenside, was it? Yeah.
Yep.
Just came from Glenside, officer.
What were you doing there?
Just at a party.
Right. He pulls out a breathalyzer. Just blow into this for me.
Absolutely. Can I spend a...
Good thing you didn't have that beer.
Yeah.
I could just tell him to go away if you want.
If you decide to do that, you just do what you want. I'm just doing stuff.
So I turn from the passenger seat and say, officer,
Yes.
I think it's best to leave the breathalyzer test for now.
Right. Of course. He takes the breathalyzer and puts it away. You're right. There's no need for that. A small party, I'm sure. I'm sure you weren't drinking.
Is there anything else I can do for you tonight, officer?
He pauses for a second and goes, no, that's all. Steps back a little bit. Have a good night. And walks back to his car a little bit dazed or confused.
The kind of same expression is etched on Kevin's face as he looks over at Vincent. What?
You can't pass a breathalyzer.
No, I know that. I was just about to ask what you did there, mate.
Strong wills are a useful thing for Kindred.
I'll take what I can get.
As long as no harm was done, we should be on our way.
The rain begins to fall.
Kevin,
spitting and then stronger.
Kevin winds up the window, indicates to his right, and was wondering what the fuck he was going to do if he had to breathe into a breathalyzer. Would have spent a blood point.
Yeah.
Act like I could breathe.
You'd be like one of those terrible people on RBT who just like... and the police officer's just like, just blow into it. And they're like, I'm trying my best.
Trust me, I'm trying. I mean, look, otherwise I would have just pulled the cop card.
Yeah.
I've got my badge.
How do Kindred speak? Magic?
Magic.
It's magic. It's magic. Wizards do it. It's
Well, as long
you need air passing over your vocal cords.
it's just blood.
It's just blood. Blood. It's blood. Yeah, it's blood.
Every time they speak, blood just spurts out their mouth.
In D&D, it's Wizards did it. In
Witches did it.
Vampire,
In
it's
Vampire,
Vitae.
it's Vitae.
Yeah.
It's Vitae.
Vitae did it.
It's supernatural. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Or maybe there's just air.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
But maybe there's just like...
you get the mood going in the rain.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, hang on a
Yeah,
minute.
but maybe there's just air naturally passing through, but your lungs aren't working. So the air is
Like
kind
a
of
shark.
just coming through like your tunnel, but you can't go...
Just a bunch of Tremere with books around them trying to figure out
How do we speak?
how are we actually doing
It's
this.
how the magnets work of the Tremere world.
That's absolutely what Tremere would do.
Yes.
Just one Tremere perks up. It's like, how do we breathe? Oh, fucking...
To the library.
We believe the Vitae infuses the vocal folds and rubs them together, oscillating them.
So story checks out.
Tremere uses a still.
Anyway,
Glad we covered that.
Okay.
you begin your journey, continuing on. The
Yes.
rain, like diamonds on your windshield, flicks and flecks. The windscreen wipers got, I assume. And your lights reflect now off the slick, black bitumen road.
Do I notice that? Does Kevin notice that this is an odd, change in weather?
You haven't been in Adelaide long enough.
What month are we in?
We're in
August.
Winter, yeah.
It is winter.
Hey, Vincent, do you have the weather app on your phone?
Sure.
Can you look it up for me? What does it say?
It's there's now a 100% chance of rain, but there was earlier today only a 40% chance that it would rain tonight. So it's strange odds, but not unreasonable.
It is winter, but I feel like this does not bode well.
Look, I come from Melbourne. It's raining 1 hour, hailing the next, and it's sunny the hour after that. So I can't tell you. This seems normal to me, but...
I think we have enough concerns without worrying about whether the weather is out to get us.
All right, keep your pants on, Vincent.
All of these things quite often are tied together, in my opinion. The shadows seem to be following us wherever we go.
And they might be, Vincent. The weather might be out to get you.
Yeah, but no, but I'm going to keep that to myself.
Don't want to sound like a crazy
Yeah,
person.
that's right. I might agree with them, but I'm not going to let them know that. I don't trust them.
That's right. They're in with the weather.
Yeah, that's right.
Is it safe to say we're getting
You
close
are.
towards Port Adelaide?
Yeah, by the time you pull up, the rain is bucketing down in earnest.
It's all right. We don't really feel it. We just
You
let
don't.
Let it
The
wash
cold,
over us.
The heat. If it was heat, you would be concerned, but the cold doesn't bother you.
Anyway.
Do you have an umbrella, or are you going to get wet?
Going to get wet in a very cinematic kind of like
Noir
looking up
way.
at as the droplets of rain come across our pale, cold faces. It's like the closest thing Isabella would get to crying ever since.
Aw.
It's very cinematic. It's very melancholic. It's very feeling like she could once again be baptized anew
Like teardrops
in the rain.
in the rain.
You
So-
stand in front of a hotel.
Port
A
Anchor
pu- a
Hotel.
pub, effectively.
Is it open?
It is open, but you wouldn't have known that driving past. Only by knowing the address and parking close to the front do you see a small golden light behind the windows. It's open. The lights are on, but it's not very visible from anyone passing by. There is a band playing, though. You hear sounds like fiddles, like an Irish rock band or something similar.
Well, this place sounds a little bit more inviting than the last.
Clearly there are people in there. It's not like we are going into someone's empty house.
We should be very careful about what we say. We don't know who we can trust.
How about we just pop it in and say g'day?
As you get closer, you hear the sounds of chatter. People talking and laughing. A few drinks clink together. A shout, a scream, and laughter again.
Yep.
Sounds like a nice place to be.
This sounds like Kevin's place. Kevin's going to head up to the door and...
Yeah, Port Adelaide pub seems like you'd be very home.
100%.
You pull on the door and let yourselves in.
Well, I hold the door for Isabella.
All
Merci.
right.
Merci beaucoup.
Kevin steps through over the threshold. You feel
Don't say it like that.
the comfort of this place instantly. The warmth of it. It's not hot. It's not a place for you to be terrified yet.
Thanks.
But you feel as though it's a place, a retreat from the world. Similar to the strip club before, except this is about camaraderie, friendship, the collection of friends.
As opposed to sucking off life from other people in different ways than the kindred are used to.
So scanning around...
But before you do,
Yes.
it would feel like that if everyone had not just stopped.
That's
to-
what I was waiting
to
for.
look
Record.
Yeah, that's what it's a Terminator thing, isn't
Record
it?
scratch.
The music slows, it doesn't stop, as the band gets slightly distracted and they lose collective tempo. The conversations die down, and people look to you. There is a pause. Do you do anything in this pause?
Act natural.
Is there kind of any like heaters or
It's hard to see just as you step through. Like
Yeah.
this is something you feel as the door opens and you step in. It's not a moment of, I look around and I can see everything in detail.
Mhm.
This is
Right.
kind of the immediate reaction, the reflexive action
Yeah.
of just stepping through.
kind of want to deal with that kind of everyone's small talk in Adelaide when it's cold. Just glad to be out of the rain finally.
Oh, I didn't know this place was open. It's a good spot.
I'll get some beers.
Yeah, we'll find a nice cozy table.
You find yourself in a pub, a hotel. There is a long bar with two barkeepers behind, and there are booths all along. There is a small stage at the far end, away from you, with a band playing. Next to that band is a fireplace.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is one of what would be a nautical-styled pub crossed with a 60s or 50s diner.
Okay.
It seems like a mishmash of genres and aesthetics, but
Right.
probably out of practicality rather than any internal design choice.
Mhm.
It's not abhorrent to the eye.
No, it seems to be making aesthetic sense in that both of those aesthetics are leading to something a bit homey and also something that's not upper class. It makes sense to me.
And form follows function, so
Yeah.
it's not like, why is this made like this? It's terrible.
Yeah.
There's bric-a-brac on the walls. There are signs from the docks on the walls. There is a board with quickest pints drunk.
I imagine there's probably like old photos of
There
the
are,
port,
of
like
course.
in the 40s, 50s.
This happened in 1945.
Yeah.
Fish that people have, big fish that patrons have caught
Yeah.
up on the wall.
Maybe like some beer coasters from guest beers over the years, stuck to the pillars of the bar, stuff like that.
What you do see is a big, thick rope that sits above the bar, which has a knot in the center of it. It's called the Devil's Knot.
Kevin's going to beeline towards the long bar. He's going to head up to one of the barkeeps. So, are the two of you finding a...
I guess we'll find somewhere to sit far away from the fire.
Close to the door, then?
Yes, that sounds also great. Good, double good. Yes.
The chatter picks up again, and as people laugh at you, they see your kind of, it's cold out there, as a kind of performance.
Yeah, which it was.
Yeah.
and they laugh at that and brush it off as people who will leave shortly, and they will get to the actual party soon again.
Yeah, we'll see.
And they'll
we'll see.
entertain you for the time being.
Yeah.
You go to the bar and grab 3 beers.
3 cougars, thanks.
Did you say cougars?
Cougars?
It's the World of Darkness version.
Instead of a Coopers, it's a cougar.
A cougar is a whiskey, or is
It's a
bourbon.
bourbon.
Right?
It's a very cheap bourbon.
Okay.
No, he goes 3 beers. There's
Three beers.
a very well-known ad.
Yes, there is. Yes.
5
3
cougars, eh?
That's right.
That's an Australian reference. I'm surprised the Australians didn't get it.
Nah.
I got it. So you
The
grab...
important person gets it.
Yeah, that's right. I understand the world.
Yeah.
You get 3 beers. You take them back to your table. You find yourself in a small booth. The light is not so good down this side, as you're kind of in semi-darkness now, away from the fire, away from the band, and away from the general revelry. There might be 35 people in this bar.
Do any of you, and he says in hushed, kind of, as in conversational tones, so do any of us actually know what this Zola looks like?
I would know, I would assume.
Zola, you do. Zola, from your memory, has dark hair and is quite small. It's quite thin.
Yep.
Young lady.
Can you spot her here?
You have a look over the venue. What you see is the band at the end, the fireplace to the side, the bar on the right-hand side. But between the fireplace and the bar, there seems to be both toilets and like another section of the pub.
Good.
Right.
Good.
You imagine that you might be able to find them there because you can't see them anywhere in here. And you recognize none of these things. Would you like to do a quick aura scan across the board?
I
and
would,
just
yeah.
try and-
Pick up the room, feel the room.
What I'll allow you to do is do an aura check across the room to see if there's any kindred in the room. So you're looking for pale auras.
And while you're doing that, I look philosophically at my beer. Strange.
That's all right.
I
You've
never
got quite a
much
few
liked
successes.
beer when I was alive. Now I'd love to even have a sip.
5.
5 successes. You see no kindred in this room.
So it's
None
only...
at all.
And is other auras kind?
All the other auras seem kind to you.
Okay.
But what would you think an unkind aura would look like? Do you want to...
I wonder if I'd even be able to pick it up. Am I seeing the lack of aura
No.
anywhere?
Everyone has an aura.
Okay.
The colours are wonderful, different colours.
It's quite pretty. Everyone here seems to be kind that I can see.
Is it safe to say that Vince... sorry.
Are you at the bar?
Kevin... No, I've come back. You've
Come
all
back.
got beers.
He's brought your beers.
We're all sitting there with full beers we can't drink.
There are light blues and rose colours. There vermilions.
I can imagine like unkind ones being like very disgusting colours.
I kind of picture them as like a metallic kind, like an
Yeah.
oil slick.
Yeah,
Like you've seen Annihilation. You know how the shimmer, although the shimmer's quite pretty, kind of purpley. I imagine it more like that kind of metallic, iridescent shimmer, but something more like an oil slick.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that's true.
Although a brown, I think, is just kind of like a nice... It depends on the brown, but I would sense that to be kind of like earthy, grounded.
Given it's an audio medium, I would think like maybe it's like unnameable colours. Even you're like, I
can't perceive this.
Yeah.
Don't ask us what those colours are. They just are.
This is really a fun thing
does
to
Kevin
play with.
notice those? So we've got the bathroom door, and then there's another door next to
Yes.
it. Just give me a moment. I just got to bleed the lizard.
I'm sorry.
Wait, where are you going?
Taking a piss.
You don't.
Just trust me. And he gets up. He heads towards the bathroom.
I'm following him.
Okay.
Well,
Vincent stands after you.
I will wait here with our refreshments.
No, we stay together.
Mate, don't you think it's going to look a little weird if two people go to the bathroom at the same time?
Why do you have to go at all?
There's another door next to there. Safe to say that that's a room we might want to be checking out.
Go and have a look, Kevin. Try not to be suspicious and come back as soon as you see anything.
Not happy, but I sit down.
He kind of shakes it off a bit. He's a little bit annoyed, but he chalks it up to Vincent. Gonna Vincent.
you guys aren't gonna like this. It's not going away.
Good fucking goddamn.
Yeah.
So basically, Kevin's intention is to start walking towards the bathroom and do a bit of he wants to kind of keep his senses open to see if people are watching him. Like, does he blend in, or are people visibly watching him go towards the bathroom?
People are watching you, but they don't seem to be intent on watching you. You are still a stranger. You are still a newcomer. This is the sort of attitude that you would expect as a kind going to a country town pub.
Yeah.
You are not welcome here. This is not your space. You are here for the time being, and we have to accept that that's the case.
Like we went to the RSL when we came to visit you.
That's right, in my country town.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Especially because I had a shaved head. And
We looked out of place. It was great.
So Kevin's going to head into the bathroom, and I want to look for...
Before you do,
Yep.
you must pass by the fireplace.
Okay. Well, what would you like me to do, Sir Chris?
I would like you to make a roll for me.
Yes, I am happy to oblige.
Courage, I imagine, something like that.
It is courage. It's a difficulty 4 courage roll.
Yeah, I'm fine. I got
You're fine?
2.
2 successes. Very good. You pass by the fireplace. You trust that the fire won't leap out and attack you.
Yep.
You
That's-
hope.
That's
And you
stranger things,
You
man.
enter into the bathroom, or you
Yes.
enter into the side door?
Enter into the bathroom at this
Okay.
point. Basically, his intention was to see how much, like, him crossing the space gathers the attention of the
affect,
people.
yeah.
I'm trying to see if heading towards that door, like, has a feeling of, oh,
No one seems to react that way. In
Yeah.
fact, as you get to the door, you see that it has a glass component. It has a frosted glass door, and looking through it, you can see some figures in semi-darkness back there. But you enter into the bathroom.
inside the bathroom, are there any windows or such on the outside?
There
Like,
is a small window
Yep,
that
enough.
leads to the outside.
Is it enough to slip out?
No,
No.
no, it's a tiny size of your head sort
Yeah.
of window.
Beautiful. So he just gives it the appropriate amount of time. Wait
Maybe you can pour some of your beer down the sink while you're in there.
I didn't take the beer with me into the bathroom.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, like, is there
very
any plants around here I
strange.
can pour my beer into?
You actually begin to worry because you're not drinking, and neither is Isabella.
Yeah.
You've ordered 3 beers, and people should be drinking those
Yeah,
beers.
that's slightly worrying to me
here's,
too.
here's the thing you'll learn about Kevin is that's just a thing he does.
He just orders
Lays
beer.
beer.
He just orders. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So he'll flush the toilet. He'll wash his hands. Vampires aren't afraid of water, at least I hope.
aren't.
Do a roll,
You
Um,
aren't.
and he does the dryers. Comes out,
It's thorough, isn't he?
walks back.
I'd say
and-
you use the paper towels rather than
Yeah.
the dryers.
Yeah,
They're-
yeah, fair.
They're less
fair.
they're less scary.
Yeah, and then he heads back once again, paying attention to people around him.
No one's, again, seems to be bothered by you, other than it's their space, not yours. You return to your compatriots. There are 3 beers sitting on the table, undrunk,
Yep.
untouched.
There are 3 people. Well, there are figures in that other room. I couldn't quite see who they were or what
Does
they
it
were
look
doing.
to be just like another part of the hotel?
It looks like a space. I couldn't see inside that room, but all I can tell is it seems to be a space specifically for those few people.
Well, we could make that it's too loud in here and find somewhere quieter to go.
Is it off limits at all? There's nothing stopping you from
Nothing I
going
could
in?
see. It's just that glass door over there. There's no sign. There's nothing to say otherwise.
Well, I think we must go through unless there's another way to get through the back somehow.
No one of interest out here. So.
Well, I say we do it and see which way the cat jumps.
You walk.
catch him.
So I'm going to pick up my beer when I get up as well.
I want to take mine to the bar.
Okay.
Hand it to the bartender.
I'm so sorry. My friend bought this for me, but I cannot drink tonight. I'm on medication, so I cannot.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, love.
It's okay, but I
That's
just
all right. And he takes it and has a
didn't
drink.
want it to go
no,
to waste.
you're all right.
Thank-
All the best. Hope it's not serious.
No, thank you. It's just...
No, that's all right. You look after yourself now.
Merci. You're too kind.
Goes to kiss you on the cheek.
Not again.
Damn it.
No, he does seem taken by you, but
You know?
Well, who isn't? I mean,
Yeah.
you're playing a very attractive character.
Yeah, two presents. And
Kevin's
all
gonna
that shit.
grab his beer. He's gonna head with Vincent. I guess collecting Isabella on the way. Like as we walk past, Isabella comes with,
You
and we
walk to the door. Well, you walk close to the door. We need a courage check from both of you two.
Do I need to do it
No,
again?
You've already done it.
3.
Just courage?
Yep, just courage.
1.
Yep, very good. You walk past with knowing that the fireplace will not leap out to you. Isabella, there is a moment where you go as it crackles, but you harden your resolve and push through.
Adelaide by Night is a Baby Beard Media production. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And all our podcasts are available on Spreaker, YouTube, and all good podcatchers. Portions of the materials are the copyrights and trademarks of White Wolf Entertainment AB and are used with permission. All rights reserved. For more information, please visit white-wolf.com. This season of Roll to Cast is made by fans, for fans, and is not officially licensed material of White Wolf Entertainment.